Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Kristen with Monarch Plans, and today I'm doing my plan with me for the week of January 17th through January 23rd. I am again using the teacher planner. It's a focus teacher planner, and I didn't really show the cover or anything last week, but I just got the Harbor vegan leather cover, and then I also got just like a fun interchangeable cover to put on the front. But this is kind of what it looks like. It's focused, so it's not very colorful, but I'm using that again this week, and I will just be planning out my week in here. Like I mentioned in my last video, this is definitely like almost my dream planner with the layout and everything, but there's just a couple adjustments that need to be made in order to get it kind of ready for me to use for the week. Part of that is switching the days from being like these horizontal rows to being up at the top. So I am going to go through and I'm going to put in the washi, and then I'll go through and I will kind of do some whiting out and making those adjustments. I'm using kit 303 from my shop today. I am not using the full boxes, so I've been using the full boxes really often the past couple weeks, but this time I am not. I don't necessarily have like a super busy week, but there's just something else I want to try and do in my planner. So I'm going to do that this week, and we'll just see how it works out. I'm kind of excited to see what it looks like, but I'm just going to trim this. And if you missed my video last week, I have to use 2 different main sheets of the weekly kit to have enough washi. I'm planning on kind of revamping and reformatting my kits so they'll have enough washi going forward. But that's just something that I need to be working on over the next few months. I don't necessarily have a lot of time right now, but I'm going to try and do reformats of my kits like in the late spring or early summer, I think. That's usually when I get my reformats done, because that is when a lot of new planners are coming out. So that'll be my focus at that point. But you see here, I just have this little like gap that I need to cover with some extra washi. I accidentally got it stuck to my sticker sheet. But like I said, this week isn't super busy. We do have some things planned for the weekend, and I have some things I need to get done, but it is a week where I have Monday off for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So I will be kind of getting some stuff done on Monday, and then we will see how the rest of the week goes. So that is good. Okay, so we have that. And then let me work on the top. I love this kit. I love like the colors and everything. So I've been waiting to use this for a pretty long time. So I'm excited. It's finally time to use it. The other thing that I kind of wanted to announce is I had some new releases come out this weekend. I did things a little bit differently, and I'm going to see how it works, but I released the monthly kits, so anything that is like on a monthly basis, and so that's the dashboards and monthlies I released on Friday or on Saturday, and then I'll be releasing weekly kits, so that's my weeklies, my dailies, budget, all that kind of stuff. That will be released in a couple weeks, and there's a calendar posted on my Instagram account. If you're interested in seeing when those will be, I think it's the 29th or something like that is when I plan to release those. But it just kind of spreads out my my workload in terms of like designing and getting listings ready and all that kind of stuff, because a couple days before releases, normally when I'm doing everything at once, are just very crazy. So I am hopefully going to be able to separate those out. It might not be, I guess, like the most, I don't know, the best thing to do, but I am hoping that it works, just because it really helps me on the back end. But okay, let me just cut this, and then we should be all good in terms of washi. And then I can put in little date headers. Okay. I'm super, super excited to be in this planner. It is working out really well so far. I'll show you guys the last couple weeks here. So this is my last week and the week before. So I'm really enjoying it. As you can see, I had full boxes in both of these, but this week I'm trying something new. I'll also show you guys at some point, maybe at the end of the month, I'll do a flip through of like my full month and you can see kind of how I used everything. But I'm just really excited. It's working out really well so far. It's always kind of nerve-wracking going into a new planner because you never really know if it's going to work or not. So I'm glad that it is working out for me. Just putting these date headers in. One of the other reasons why I'm really loving this planner is the amount of space it has. If you've seen some Plan With Me's in my Plum Paper Me planner, which has a very similar layout to this, it's almost the exact same layout where it has like the days at the top and then these different sections. The columns are, still about 1.5 inches, a little bit less, but things end up so crowded in there because with a bunch of labels and the headers and everything, I just felt like I was running out of space in there. And so I really love how much space this gives me just for writing or putting in stickers and all that kind of stuff. So that is kind of my other reason for going this route. I know a lot of people don't do 8.5 by 11 just because it's so big, kind of hard to carry around, but I figure I won't be kind of hauling my planner around very often. I have a daily planner and I'm also not going into the office at this point. So makes it a lot easier when I don't have places to be going with my planner. I will set up my little sidebar here. And then I also have my weekend sticker that I'll put in. And that is Friday through Sunday, which is really nice. I feel like that ended up a little bit crooked. The other thing that I really like about these planners is the paper. I know everybody kind of raves about the paper being really nice in EC planners, which it's very true. It's very easy to like pull up stickers and reposition them. So that's also something I like. So I don't know. It just seems like the things I like about the planner definitely outweigh like any kind of downsides in my opinion. So let me see. I think I will do the sidebar, and I've done this before. Let me just speed through setting up some of these stickers because it ends up being really tedious, but you'll be able to see exactly how I set things up when I come back in just a second. Okay, you can see here how I set up my sidebar. I just used a little bit of washi in here that I had left over because, like I mentioned, I have a lot more space in this planner. So I'm able to decorate a little bit more versus in my 7x9 planner. It was pretty compact in terms of having like a, like a cover at the top, and then I would put in my habit tracker and maybe this weekly list, and then there was very minimal room for anything else. So now I have more room for like this list here and then some extra space here for just any other kind of to-do list items. I've mentioned before, and I'll go through this after the fact when I've kind of gone through and like talk about my week, but I use this now to write down the 6 most important weekly actions that I need to get done. And that's something I get from my Moxie Life weekly reflections and actions setup that I do each weekend. So that is a way that I'm incorporating my goals from my Moxie Life and my power sheets and everything like that into my weekly planner. So I'm doing that so I don't have to have 3 different planners open all at once trying to make sure that I'm getting everything done. I can kind of just do all my work in my Moxie Life and compare my tending list and everything in my power sheets and then move it in here so I know which 6 things I really need to focus on this week. Usually I have more than 6 weekly actions, but I'm trying to kind of narrow it down a little bit to do more actionable things instead of having these like lofty 8 different categories worth of goals, all that kind of stuff. But it's just a process. So that is what I'm doing with the sidebar, but you can see that I have enough room to kind of write a lot of different things and keep track of a lot of things in here, which means that I don't have to keep track of a lot of stuff in other planners, which is a big focus of mine to definitely reduce some of my kind of planner stack, if you will, for 2022. So what I'm going to do now is just quickly white out the days over here. And I was a little worried about this at first with getting this planner, is if the whiteout would get in the way, and it actually hasn't so far. So I'm really happy about that. I quite honestly was very worried about that because a lot of times whiteout just, it doesn't match, or it's just kind of like, it gets in the way of writing. So that was one of my reservations about this planner, but I feel like it ends up looking really good. You can't really see it once you kind of have all your spread laid out. And so that is definitely something that I feel okay about now, but was really uncertain about at first. So let me go through and I will write in some of my appointments now. I have a few things going on, but not a whole lot like I mentioned. So Monday is a good day. I don't have to work, so that is a huge one. It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so I have that off. It has been a 4-day weekend, which is always really, really nice. I love having some extra time off on those days. So I am going to, let's see. I'm trying to think about a couple different things, but I have just some reminders for work, which are big ones. So one of the reminders is that we are moving in my office building, and we're moving down a floor. So I have to move and be out of my current cubicle by Thursday. So I have that reminder. There's also a couple different meetings that I have for work on Tuesday through Thursday. So I have a big meeting on Tuesday morning, and that is something I need to actually do some work on Monday just to prepare for that, which kind of sucks, but that's okay. I knew kind of I would have to do that anyways, but it's not too bad. Something I can do while I'm like watching TV or whatever. 10 o'clock. There's a couple meetings. I fully expect one of the meetings on these days to be canceled. So we'll just have to see which one it is. But they're both related to the same thing. So I have a feeling my boss will end up canceling one of them. So what's always really nice is when you are expecting to have multiple meetings and then they get canceled, but we will just have to see exactly what happens. And then I feel like there's very consistent meetings all week. I usually have maybe like one day that has a bunch of meetings, but this time it is just a couple every day. And I definitely have a busy week in terms of like to-do list items. That's kind of the biggest thing. So I have a lot going on in that sense. But then the other thing going on is there is a vaccine booster, like what is it? Workshop? I don't know what they're called. Clinic, that's what it's called. Happening on Monday, which I was going to get my booster on Monday last week, but I still wasn't feeling the best. I kind of had like a stuffy nose a little bit. And I know if you go and you have like any off symptoms, if you're feeling off whatsoever, they're usually not going to give you a shot, or it just kind of raises some red flags for them. So I didn't want to go and have like the sniffles and have them turn me away anyways. So I think I'll try to do my vaccine booster this Monday instead. And then the other thing that I was going to do is just put that there's no work on Monday. Just like putting that in to remind myself as I'm looking back on my planner. Other than that, I have a couple things that I need to get done for the shop on Monday. So I am going to prep all remaining orders. to go out at the beginning of next week, or as many as possible. I always say all, but it's like you plan for a bunch of them, and then something inevitably happens where it just doesn't necessarily happen the way you want it to. A lot of it is depending on like printers and machines. If everything is working well, then I can get a lot done. But if things just are being really temperamental, things take a little bit longer. So prep all orders, film videos, and then I would really like to rearrange my office. But we'll see if I get to that. That's one of them where I'm like, oof, I really want to, but I don't know if I'll be able to. So I think that that is pretty much it. There is one other big thing going on, and that is I'm going to use one of these boxes here. I guess I could have used it on here. I don't know why I just shuffled papers, but let's see. I am going to right here. So Andrew, my husband, as most of you know, if you watch my videos, he has a bowling league that he's part of, and actually that is something that I'm going to write in, is his bowling league on Monday. And he is actually participating in a big PBA bowling tournament this weekend in the Valley. So I'm really, really excited for him, but it is definitely like a weekend full of stuff. So he has like meetings and the actual competition and all that kind of stuff, but I'm just super excited for him because he loves bowling and he's really, really good at it. And so I am just excited to kind of support him through that like hobby. I mean, I'm his wife, so I'm like his biggest fan. I'm also going to use, I have this like holiday sheet, and I'm going to reformat it too. I was doing this because they're really small and I didn't want to put them too close together because some of the sheets get a little flimsy when you have cuts like really close together with kind of a lot of writing. But I'm going to reformat this to be a little bit smaller at some point soon, but I am using this year going forward to be able to mark some holidays. And so I'm hoping that I'm able to fit the MLK Day on this like flag and maybe put it on Monday. And it does look like it's gonna fit. I'm just trying to line it up straight. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do really quickly is I'm gonna put all the stickers down. I'm not gonna talk through that because I feel like I've just blabbered for the past like 20 minutes. I'm gonna put the stickers down and then I'll show you what it looks like once I have all the stickers down and everything written, and then we should be good to go. I feel like this week is a really good one. So I'm really excited to see what it looks like at the very end. So I'll be right back in just a few minutes. Okay, so here is my spread so far. I wrote in some things, but there is obviously a lot of stuff that is still blank on purpose. So I will just kind of walk through what I have down so far so you can see what this all looks like now that it's all set up. So I have here in my kind of work section, obviously no work on Monday, but I am going to put in a couple to-do list items. I also have my Martin Luther King Jr. Day label here just to remember why I had no work. And so I'll list a couple things just in this empty space. And then I have meetings the next couple days and my deadline to move from the upstairs offices into my downstairs office. So I'll probably head down to the office at some point in those 2 days to make sure that I can get that stuff moved. But I also always try to leave some room for to-do list items just to make sure that I get certain things done that I need to get done on days while I'm working. Over here, since I only work Monday through Thursday, Friday through Sunday end up being kind of blank and empty in this section up here, but I wanted to put in Andrew's bowling tournament and just kind of notate that it goes throughout the entire weekend. I'll probably go and watch his stuff, watch him bowl a couple times during the weekend, maybe Saturday and Sunday, maybe just one of the days. I'll just have to see what the weekend looks like, but I'm really excited to see how he does, and it's definitely really far away from our house, so I am trying to choose kind of strategically how much time I spend over there because I have a lot of things I need to get done at home also. The next section is pretty much blank every week before I start the week. I like to put in stuff I have to do around the house, and so usually that ends up being almost more of like a to-do list that gets filled out each day. So it's a little bit empty now, but I have Andrew's league bowling on Monday and then my weekly reflections that I would like to get done on Sunday before the new week starts. This section is something that is a little bit new. I haven't done this before this year, but I'm kind of testing out these new stickers and seeing how I like them and seeing if they work. And if they do, it might be something I put up in the shop just to help people kind of track things. But it has a workout that I'm choosing to do, miles walked, steps, and then I have a blank here with a checkbox, and that's because there might be certain things throughout the week or on certain days that I would like to kind of check or kind of check the box on, but it kind of gives me flexibility in terms of if there's something else I would like to check the box on that day, then I can kind of write it in and then, you know, determine if I've done it or not. I have my dots for my Apple Watch, and then I have my water tracker at the bottom. So I'm trying to kind of keep everything in one little section, and it makes it so I don't have to write out this stuff every single day. So we'll see how this works. I really kind of like how it's all contained in one sticker. So that is something that I'm trying out this week that is a little bit different. This section is for Monarch plans, and so like I mentioned, Monday is pretty much a work day for my shop. I'll be working on orders and then working on a few other things like filming, rearranging my office, all of that stuff. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm really focusing on working on orders as much as possible, and so it's blank because I don't quite know exactly when I'm going to need to run to the post office, when I'm going to be able to start like my next batch of orders. So again, this will be kind of almost like this section up here where I fill it out every single day. And then finally, the bottom section is social media and kind of YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff. So I wanted to put in different ideas of things I can post. So I might not post every single day on Instagram, but I wanted to at least have ideas of different things I could post every day. And then at the very bottom, I have just some of my videos that I'm planning on posting. So that gives me a little reminder of maybe if I have some to-do list items I need to get done like the day before or whatever. And then finally, I have my sidebar. Like I mentioned, I put a couple different to-do list items over here. And then these things all get done like later on in the weekend. I'm filming this a little bit earlier in the weekend, so I haven't done my weekly reflections or anything yet. So I need to do my weekly reflections and action items in my Moxie life to kind of set my intentions for next week. And then I'll fill this out. Along with that, I'll fill out my habit tracker when I get that stuff narrowed down. I feel like a lot of my habit stuff will be kind of tracked in these individual boxes in terms of like movement and did I like plan my meals, did I close my rings, all that kind of stuff. But it might be nice for me to have them all kind of marked off here so I don't have to look at each individual box and see kind of yes or no whether I completed things or not. And then this bottom section is for meal planning, which I haven't done my meal planning for next week yet, but I will do that probably right after this video, just so I can submit my grocery order and get that out of the way. So that is this week. I'm really excited to see what it looks like at the very end of the week. It's always fun seeing how everything ends up looking once the week is over. So this is kind of what it looks like when it's a little bit more filled out, or like I showed you before, like this one. But I am super excited about this. Love this kit. Still loving this planner. Let me know if you have any questions about the planner, stickers, anything like that. I'd be happy to answer them. But I'm just super excited that I kind of took the leap and moved into this planner. I was very uncertain about the size, but I am actually loving it. So anyways, like I mentioned, reach out if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, and I will talk to you later. Bye.